What's going on, YouTube? Lasagna here, back with another episode of Road to 2000. And I've got some explaining to do. I've been away for a few months now. And, I just haven't really been feeling the motivation for chess, I suppose. I still been playing a lot of blitz chess, just the rapid format and the grinding puzzles and everything hasn't really been my thing as of late. So I thought I'd just take a little bit of a reset, a pause, a hiatus, if you will. And, I've recently had some motivation to get back on track. Seeing some clips of the, Jinxie. I don't know if you guys have seen that guy. I think he's like a Rocket League player, but he's been like getting into chess and just seeing the beginner excitement again. It's inspired me, so here we are. And also, like, I've been following the candidates as well, which has been pretty fun. Probably just castles. He's put this pawn on d3, which I think is a mistake. Maybe queen b6 makes sense to prevent him from correcting his error. Yeah, I think queen b6 just because if he moves the bishop, maybe I can take here. Okay, we get knight a4. Probably just step back one. I mean, yeah. I guess he could just repeat if I go back. So maybe, yeah. I mean, let's just go queen c7. He can repeat moves. I'll be fine with that. Maybe I'll just play rook b8 instead. But yeah, I don't know if I am committing to weekly uploads again, but you never know. Maybe I'll be more consistent at least. Okay, so he's threatening to take the pawn here is his idea. Queen a5 attacks the knight. Queen a5, c3. I could consider going e5 here. Actually, I am going to play e5. Just permanently clamping down on the d4 square so that he can never challenge the center. Or, well, maybe he can if he like slow plays it, but I know I'm kind of like blocking my bishop out long term, but I think it's fine. Just go rook b8 here, spy the pawn, probably castles next move. And not sure where to put this bishop. I don't really see it having much of a role in this game, to be honest. I mean, one thing I could consider is trying to put my knight on f5 or f4. And then if he takes, the idea is that I open up a line towards the rook in the corner. Maybe that's an idea. I think I'll just play bishop e6 first, though. Just completing the development. So yeah, other than chess, I've just been kind of playing a lot of video games. Been playing Slay the Spire, the new one that came out. Okay, so knight h5 doesn't really work anymore because, I mean, I guess it still kind of does work because knight h5, if I can go here, takes, still opens up an attack on the rook, but I think he won't let me get that because I think he wants to come here. I think I'll just go rook d8. Or do I want to do that? I mean, even if he gets the trade here, I don't think I really care. Well, maybe I do, because maybe he has this move. Yeah, I think I'm going to go rook d8. And then if bishop h6, I think I'll just step back. Sometimes this can get a little dicey doing this kind of maneuver because, he does still have some pressure on the g7 square. So you can get into some trouble. Like, it might feel like a win that I'm keeping my bishop that's protecting my king, but yeah, you can definitely run into some problems later on. He probably wants to take here. I don't want to push in the middle of the board. Like, his knight's out of play. Knight h5 also seems interesting. But I think I've kind of been setting up for this move for a while, so... but I guess that hangs this pawn. Maybe knight h5 is kind of the play. Knight h5, take. Let's just see what happens. I'm not overly concerned. Okay, so he does trade off my bishop. Now I have this kind of like boat formation, horseshoe maybe formation in the center of the board with the pawns here, which could actually be kind of strong like in the event that I push here because I got like lots of central support. So I feel like that's kind of where my plans are gonna lie, is trying to open up the center. And okay, now I think this move probably good. Like, it does sacrifice a pawn temporarily, but we are going to be, like, if he takes, we are going to be opening up an attack on the rook. So I assume he's going to play, like, rook b1 maybe, just to get out of any problems on the diagonal. Well, actually, if he plays rook b1, we take here. That doesn't seem great for him. Okay, he does take. So now this move does protect the pawn, but again, hangs this one. I mean, I could just play bishop e5. I could sack this pawn and go like bishop d4. If takes, go rook f8 with lots of pressure on the f2 pawn and tempo on the queen. Hold on though. If I go here, take rook f1. Maybe he has knight takes c5 because of the pin on my queen. No, knight takes c5. We take with the bishop. Okay, I'm gonna play this. And I don't know how good it is. We are sacrificing a pawn. I think my argument is that his knight's like on the side of the board, and we have the really strong bishop, kind of with a lot of influence currently. So okay, it goes there. I think I just want to maybe solidify my position with g5. If we get h4, I'll just play h6. Okay, it goes there. I think we're just like better though. I can play h6. And how do we improve the position? I really want to play this move. Now he can't take here because my bishop defends it, so I think pushing in the middle is probably the play now. Queen g7 attacks the knight here. Could just drop the bishop back in that position. Alternatively, we could go like king f7, or queen f7, knight d2, bishop here, and then just play for the push. That looks fine too. Let's just do that. If he hits my bishop, I think I'm just going to drop it back to f6, or maybe g7 to keep this one protected. All right, I think we push now. Just try to get the rooks involved, open up some lines maybe. Okay, he takes. Now if I take with this this one, he does maybe have a target. Although I can always clog the line with my bishop, but I think this one makes sense, just trying to maybe it gives him this square though. Maybe that was a bit inaccurate. Oh wait, that's just a fork, right, on my pawn and my bishop? Yeah. Maybe I overlooked that one. Well, I guess I can attack his queen. And then maybe takes. Try to open up the d file. Yeah, I think just a6. And then takes. My idea. If he goes here, maybe taking's not the move, because he could take back with the knight, and that looks pretty powerful. Okay, but he goes there. Now I think taking is the move. It does kind of split all my pawns up, though. Maybe, nah. Yeah, let's take. I guess he has this square for the knight now, but yeah, maybe, I don't know. I think one of his problems is that if he takes, then there's check, picking up a queen. So there's the rooks see each other now. King's very loose, by the way, with all the dark squares. Maybe h5 is a move. Although, I don't know what h5 does, because if I take, he takes, and maybe he gets the h-file faster. So let's just not spend all the time in the world and go queen d7, just attack the pawn. Fork here. But there's also maybe checks to be careful about. I don't think it's a big issue because I can block with the bishop. Can't be getting forked on my first day back, you know? Be a disaster. Maybe we want to play queen d4 just to occupy the diag. Try to get this move in as well. Ooh, wait, that's... Oh, he's trying to trade, man. Let's just go here, try to win the pawn. Gotta be careful with this kind of idea. Let's just step the king up. Didn't like being on the diagonal here with... Go here to hit the... Not really sure how to improve the position here. I just gotta not lose on time, I think. Rook's pinned here, so maybe something like this. Seems reasonable. We can somehow like sneak the queen in to deliver some... Oh! Ah! My queen! I resign. Do I resign? I mean... Yeesh. That's the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose, folks. It's a bad first game, but we'll take a look at the review. Well, that was unfortunate. I played with a 70%. My opponent played with a 75. Yeah, I just sort of lost my mind. I think I was better most of the game. Yeah, the opening, I would say, was a relative success. I guess knight f6 is wrong. It wants me to play e5 here just to prevent, like, because we don't want white to be able to transpose into some sort of open Sicilian. Yeah, but the game's just pretty much equal here. I think I played this decently. See if my idea here was any good. Yeah, I don't know. Like, sometimes allowing this trade's just fine. I think that's probably the case here. He wants me to play knight h5. And in this position, just play... something like this. I don't know why he would go back with the knight, maybe to play f4. But yeah, so I guess just allowing the trade was probably preferable, but I think dropping the bishop back's fine too. So yeah, we get this position. I go knight f4, and this does technically drop a pawn, but there's this... Oh, there's a threat of the capturing the rook in the corner. Let's see, was bishop d4 any good? It's like, you know, the fourth best move. It's not the best. What I was kind of banking on here was after it takes rook f8 and let's say queen d2. Okay, maybe not queen d2, it's like queen g3. That I just have like a lot of pressure towards the f2 pawn. Maybe I could stack the rooks, and with his knight on the corner of the board, it felt like I was getting a lot of play here. And yeah, engine says we are better. So I thought that was a fun little pawn sack. He didn't take it, so I end up just solidifying my pawn structure. I guess this move's wrong. It does want me to go queen g7. I considered this move, but I thought after knight e2, bishop somewhere. Ooh, I guess bishop's, yeah, bishop e3, pretty good. Anchoring this guy in. I was considering like this. And I thought this position was a little bit worse than what we got in the game. So yeah, I think we were still in control here. I guess I lost my advantage after knight e4 in this position. Yeah, I did notice that this was kind of a positional mistake to allow him to get this knight with a lot of threats here. But life goes on. We just played this position. I thought it was actually probably not... I didn't think I was worse in this position, but I guess this knight's just very strong. And yeah, I didn't really know what to do here. I guess we are like significantly worse, by the way. Yeah, queen a4 is fine. This move, I just didn't see... Well, to be fair, I only spent 4 seconds. I probably should, but I just didn't have much time, and I was like, ooh, a rook, my opponent blundered, but didn't see this. So yeah, we lost the queen, lost the game. So yeah, I think we will play one more. And by the way, if you're wondering, I'm 1800 because I didn't completely stop playing Rapid on this account during my hiatus. I just kind of wasn't recording. I didn't play much either, just like mostly just to keep my account from being like getting like a provisional rating. Like after a while, chess.com will basically your rating will fluctuate a lot more on wins and losses if you go long enough without playing Rapid. So I just played a couple games to keep that from happening. Yeah, so I'll go over what's happening in the opening over the game after the game, but there's some pressure here. I feel like there is a move that like makes me pretty close to like winning here, but I kind of forget what it is. Maybe it's this. Because if take, check here takes. I think, yeah, that's winning. So here, where does the queen go? Queen back. Bishop here. E6. Yeah, I think this makes sense. Oh wait, this is check. Shoot. But wait, even if... Okay, he doesn't go for it anyways. All good. Yeah, so now he can't like kick my knight out, and my knight's in a very strong position here. Queen here looks kind of nice, attacking the pawn. Does run into e6, like let's say queen g4, g6. Maybe there's that move though. And things are getting very dicey for my opponent. Yeah, because if g6, bishop g5, attacking the queen, and the queen might just be trapped there. He might have some like counter-attacking moves on my queen or something, but it looks like he's in a lot of trouble because there's also like potentially a fork, even if he manages to squeak out of this one, and it's not like he has f6 or anything because of all this going on. Yeah, like check here looks pretty deadly. Yeah, I think he's losing here. We do still have to be careful for this move, though. We do have check. Is that just checkmate? Oh my god, that's dirty. Oh my god, that's dirty. You ever seen that checkmate before, folks? That is absolutely disgusting. Yeah, I'd ask for a rematch too, Mr. Chad's 7878 from the United Kingdom. Let's look at the analysis. All right, folks, and that's how you beat an 1800 in like 12 moves. So yeah, I'll mention a little bit about the opening here. So yeah, I like to play the Vienna with knight c3 and f4, but whenever they mirror you here, like this move's actually really annoying because if you play like f4, then like this diagonal becomes very weak, and I just don't really like the ensuing positions. That's why I like to just turn this into a 4 knights game, but bishop c5 in this position isn't accurate because if I take here, it runs into the center fork trick, and you know, life goes on, and this is a fine position, but a lot of people get baited here, and because they're like, oh shoot, I'm not gonna let him do the center fork trick, I'm gonna take on f2, and you know, this position just isn't very good. Even if, like, I think the best move is to bring the knight over to the king side, but like we just get the full center, and the king's gonna be fine, just tucked away on g1 here. Like you can even castle manually in a lot of positions, just go like something like this, and you know, we're just chilling here. So yeah, so bishop takes f2 is a mistake, and my opponent kind of compounds things here by bringing the queen out. I guess e5 is the best move, but I played knight d5, and I did realize after the game, or like after I played this, that maybe this is an option, but I guess there is still knight takes c7 with the fork. Maybe that's not good. So yeah, queen d8 only moved, keep this protected. And yeah, queen g4 is the best move, and yeah, g6 is a grave error, just because of like all the pressure here. As you saw in the game, like if he goes here, it's just game over with takes with the fork here. If he tries this move, it's similarly bad. I can just take. Engine also says queen f4. I don't really understand that one. Ooh, that's fun. Knight takes c7 here, and if queen takes, then you take the queen, obviously. And if the king moves, what's the idea? Check. Yeah, and black's just getting smoked here. That's fun, but simpler is just to take the pawn. And after takes, and it says queen h4. There's also probably just this move. Oh, that loses the... Oh, yeah, my queen's hanging. Yeah, so queen h4 only move. Well, not only move. I guess you could move it elsewhere too, but this is the most accurate just because you're setting up this fork and the nasty pin here. No way to really protect the knight in a good way. So, I mean, like rook f8, but you're going to be able to push e5 here. But we don't get any of that. Because my opponent plays knight ge7, which just gets mated. And that is a beautiful checkmate. So, big opening success in that one. I kind of tricked my opponent, but yeah, that was a quick one. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I'll be back for more videos in the near future. And if you liked the video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.